Okay, everyone. So, as always, as we are getting closer to the official release date, or the official release, excuse me, of the upcoming chapter of the Dragon Ball Super manga, we start to get information revealed to us about what is going to be actually in the chapter. Now, as always, about a week before the official chapter is released, we get the early draft pages posted on the official Dragon Ball website, and we're going to go through all of them. Now, even though this was put out publicly by Japan, it is going to contain spoilers for the at least early part of the chapter, like the first 6 pages. So if you do not want to be spoiled on literally anything that is included in the chapter, this is your chance to click off, okay? But remember, this is put out publicly by Japan, so they want this out there. All right, so if someone at YouTube is watching this, just remember this, okay? Japan put this out publicly for people to see. Okay, I'm not getting some information from someone and I'm putting it out that information Japan didn't want out there. Okay, just keep that in mind. And I kind of have to say that now. I don't know why it sucks, but it is what it is. All right, so let's go ahead. You've been warned. Let's go ahead. This is our first image. We'll get to this. Don't worry, we'll get to this. So, chapter 81 is called Goku's Conflict. It's called Goku's Conflict, and I'll touch on that in a bit after we're done going through the draft pages. So this is page number 1. You can see we've got an establishing panel, technically an establishing shot. We know where Gas is. That's Goku and Vegeta. There's Alec. We don't know where Granola is. And there's Gas, who is fully in control, no longer limited by anything. He has 100% access to all of his powers. And he's been made the strongest in the universe by Alec making the wish on the Cerealian Dragon. Although keep in mind, we still have no idea what Alec gave up in order for Gas to become the strongest. Because remember, when Granola made the wish, he had to give something up. So what did Gas give up? Or excuse me, what did Alec give up? We don't know. Or what did he give in exchange? And this is the second page. You can see him giving like the look to Goku and Vegeta, and you can see them being affected by it. And by the way, we have translations for all of this, which we'll get to in a second. And here we have Granola attacking Alec. And then we see something interesting. So we see Gas using some technique to move Alec to this location. Now, this is just a theory. I could be wrong, but based on how it looks, based on how he's making his fingers look, I wonder if he found some way to use instant transmission or the Shunkan Ido on other people. You know, normally when you use that technique, you have to be in contact with someone else, or they have to be touching you like on the shoulder or something in order for them to also be transported with you. But what if Gas now has the ability to use it on other people against their will even? I mean, if you think about it, that's a pretty broken ability. Like, you can transport someone anywhere. Although it seems like, based on how this is drawn, it seems like he's aiming at Alec, and then he aimed at the mountain and moved him there. So I don't know if maybe it's not the Shunkan. Maybe he's just moving him, like using some form of telekinesis, and it's just happening so fast it just looks like he's disappearing and reappearing on the mountain. And then again, like I said, we have translations for all of this, and then you see Granola preparing an attack, and he's about to fire it, and then Gas just comes in and breaks his arm. At least that's what it looks like. It looks like his arms have been broken, which is actually kind of a smart move by Gas, because if his most powerful attack are those key blasts that hit with pinpoint accuracy, or that attack where he hits your vitals, then breaking his arms is actually a smart move. And also, I just want to comment on this real quick: how the panels are laid out. How he's only using 4 panels, and it goes from 1, 2, 3, 4, flows beautifully. If you've been following me for a while when it comes to my Dragon Ball Super reviews, then you'll know that one thing that I've criticized Toyotaro on is the fact that sometimes he'll use way too many unnecessary panels, you know? Like, if you look at a page and you'll realize that if you just take out this panel, and this panel, it'll flow a lot smoother and it won't feel so busy. Like, the page won't feel so busy. And it seems like he's finally learned that, because it just goes from one panel to the next beautifully. There's no confusion. Again, credit to Toyotaro. I hope that it continues with this, and we don't get to the rest of the chapter where we get to a fight and it's just more cluttered pages. We're full of unnecessary panels, which just it bothers me. It really bothers me. And I know it may not bother other people, but Like I personally just don't like it. It's one of the things that I loved about the Dragon Ball manga, the way Toyotaro would draw it, or not Toyotaro, the way Toriyama would draw it, is how he would just have it flow beautifully from one panel to the next. It's like he was a master at doing that. Anyway, like I said, we have some translations. This is courtesy of DBS Chronicles. Make sure you go support him on Twitter by following him. So here we go, chapter 81, Goku's conflict. And then here we finally get to know what's actually happening, where Goku is saying, what's happening, my body feels heavy, and Vegeta says, this is bad, the more ki we use, the more we'll get crushed by his power. So this is interesting. So Gas is using some ability where I guess I'm theorizing that he's using their own energy against them, and the more they use it, the more it affects them, which actually, it kind of reminds me of a character in Bleach. Like, he had an ability that was exactly like this in the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. If you read it, you know who I'm talking about. But also go read the 1,000-Year Blood War arc to get ready for the Bleach anime coming back, which, if I remember correctly, I think it's coming back this year. Yeah, I think it's coming back in like 2022, October. Yeah, October of 2022. At least I think, unless it was 2022. Unless I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. And then we see Granola trying to attack Ella, going for a surprise attack. Although if this was a surprise attack, then he did a stupid thing announcing himself, like screaming, because he alerted himself to Gas, and that gave Gas the ability to move Ella. Because so if he didn't do that, he would have been able to catch him. And yeah, I mean, I get that he's pissed, but still, you got to admit it is kind of a stupid move. And then we get to here we've got the last 2 pages, and then Ellic is just being a smug SOB here. He says, hey, don't be so rude, take a swing at your employer, thinking that he's still working for him. It's like, no, dude, those days are over. It's like, he knows what you did. This guy will never work for you again. And then he says, not just my mother, if it weren't for you, none of the inhabitants of this planet would have died. I don't know about that. I feel like Frieza would have gone to you guys eventually. It's like, if you guys really are as strong as you or if you have these abilities, I feel like Frieza would have gone after you eventually. Like, he was way stronger than the Saiyans, but he still got rid of them because he thought there was a chance they could turn against him. Like, Frieza was very careful that way. So if he thought there was even a chance the Cerealians could pose a threat, he would have gone after you. It's like, yeah, come on, dude. But then again, he doesn't really know much about Frieza, so I guess I can forgive that. Which is weird, considering he kind of wants to kill him. You'd think he would like educate himself on as to who Frieza actually is and what he's like. And then he says, like, I could have you killed at any time if I wanted to. There's some it says anytime it says I could have killed you anytime I wanted. Okay, so yeah, I thought there was maybe some grammar errors. I was wrong, sorry about that. And then Gas just comes in, and it seems like he's broken both of his arms, which again, like I said, is actually kind of a smart move considering Granola's skill set. But again, like, I'm thinking, how are they going to get out of this? It's like Gas is incredibly powerful at the moment. So how the hell are they going to, like, seriously, how are they going to get out of this? I honestly don't see any way that they can escape this without it feeling like some kind of asshole. Like, that's kind of what I'm worried about. I don't want it to be another case where the antagonist is so strong that the writer will introduce something out of nowhere, something that was never hinted at before, to give them a reason as to how they won. Like, I really don't want that to happen. So, and as to the whole thing about it being called Goku's conflict, I really hope that it doesn't just fall to Goku's hands again. I really hope that's not the case. And I think a lot of people are not going to be happy about that, because people want Granola to be the one to finish them off. Because at the end of the day, when you think about it, this is Granola's fight. Like, these are Granola's enemies. Goku and Vegeta got tricked into doing this. Like, they got tricked into this fight. They had nothing to do with this. So I really hope that it doesn't fall into Goku's hands, kind of like it always does. So anyway, guys, that's gonna be it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think is going to happen in this chapter? Do you think it's going to fall into Goku's hands as always? Or do you think that somehow Granola is still going to be the one to finish this? How do you think they're going to get out of this? Do you think it's going to be an ass pull or something? Let me know all of that in the comment section down below. Remember to leave a like, share this video, subscribe if you haven't, make sure to hit the bell for notifications. And I hope I see you in the next video, where hopefully we get more information, because I will be making a video talking about that as always. Bye for now.